The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Mark. The mother of Jesus and his brothers arrived at the house. Standing outside, they sent word to Jesus and called him. A crowd seated around him told him, "Your mother and your brothers and your sisters are outside asking for you." But he said to them in reply, "Who are my mother and my brothers?" And looking around at those seated in the circle, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of God is my brother and sister and mother." Brothers and sisters, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus.
Mayong udto sa tenen. My dear friends, one of the efficacious signs and the wonderful effects of the redemption brought to us by Jesus is that He reconciles us to the Father. Jesus brings us back to the Father, then therefore we have the right to call His Father our Father too. That we are now the adopted children of God. This is because due to the redemption brought to us by Jesus Himself. And that is why from this, we are now one family, and our Father is no other than our God in heaven. And sometimes this is made more emphasis on our gospel today. That when the mother of Jesus, the Blessed Virgin Mary, and the brothers and sisters here in the culture of the Jews, they are the close kins or the cousins of Jesus. Ang gitawag niya og mga igsuon. Ang tawag man gani ang mga Muslim og igso nato, no? How much more kita managsuon sad sa pagtuo. Then therefore we are now included in the big family of God when Jesus asked those who are seated around Him, "Who is my mother? Who is my brothers and sisters?" Somehow in a human situation, it seems that Jesus is snubbing His mother, but indeed, He did not. He took this very time a great opportunity to teach. And when the people surrounding Him, He told them that whoever does the will of my Father is my mother, my brother, and sisters. My dear friends, the will of God is the only thing that we have to do because God invites us already to be His family. Because for us, for our own effort, we cannot reconcile ourselves to God. It is through Jesus that He reconciles us once and for all through His redemptive actions in the cross, in His passion, that we are now made the sons and daughters of our God. And yet, there is one thing that we should do. It's not all about God presenting Himself to us. We must do the will of God. But what is the will of God? The will of God is translated into something that we have to be saved and come to the knowledge of truth. And this is something that our human effort cannot take effect upon us. We cannot save ourselves. We can solve our problems, but we cannot save ourselves. It is only God who can save us. The problem of evil has no human solutions, no matter what we will do. But it is only God's solution that can offer salvation for us. And therefore, we must be saved, and that is the will of God. We have to accept salvation, and we have to accept that our human effort cannot save our souls. It is Jesus that we can have the gift of salvation. And somehow, the Blessed Virgin Mary is a good example for this. Doing the will of God. And she receives the will of God with utmost humility and lowliness. And even if she was the most blessed among women, ato hinumduman nga siya walay sala, gumikan sa sala nga panulundon, she was immaculate, but still she cannot save herself. It is only God who can save her, and it is only God who can save us all. But she does the will of God, saying yes, opening her life to be God's instrument, presenting her very self in order for God to dwell in her. And this is our example. This is how we have to do the will of God. To acknowledge of our limitation, to acknowledge that in all our human effort we cannot save ourselves. It is only by saying yes, just like the Blessed Virgin Mary. It is only by opening our lives, just like the Blessed Virgin Mary. It is only by humbling ourselves, just like the Blessed Virgin Mary, that we do the will of God. And from here, doing the will of God, we come to the knowledge of the truth. That Jesus reconciles us to the Father. Jesus connects us back to the Father. This was been broken due to the first sin of our parents, due to their disobedience. We are separated from God. But through the obedience of Jesus, He reconciles us back to the Father. Nakaron, gani diha sa ama namo, nagiingon diha sa antiphon, mangahas ta sa pagtawag sa atong Ginoo nga atong amahan. Kay sa pagkatinuod siya ato na usab nga amahan. Kay gidugtong ta pagbalik, gihiuli kita pagbalik sa iyang anak nga si Jesucristo nga mo'y naghatag kanato og kaluwasan. This is what God did to us, embracing us all into His family, but at the price of His blood and His death, for us to be saved and for us to come to the knowledge of the truth. For whoever does the will of my Father is my mother, my brothers and sisters. Amen.